Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video today. So today we're doing the bank video for 2024. We did one at the start of the year, but a lot has happened since then. We've been doing a lot of PVM and raids, so let's just hop right into it. Look at this guy. So as you can see, the bank is 2.6 billion GP. We've gained a lot of money this year, mostly from Chambers of Xeric and other grinds like Slayer and Zulrah. But this is the top of the bank, and I really like the layout that I have for it because right at the start, you kind of just have everything you need. We've got all of the runes up here. We gained a lot of natures this year from testing out the new nature rune crafting method and lots of chaos and stuff throughout other PVM. But we do need to get more fire runes, but thank God there's that new method now to craft them because the trident takes a lot of fire runes, like way more than I thought. I had like 100,000 a couple months ago and they're already gone. I think some are in the rune pouch, but yeah, this year we also got the large fur pouch and the large meat pouch and finished off the colossal pouch, so we have an extra spot here to put something in the future. I kind of liked it with all the pouches here, so hopefully some other thing, maybe I could put the rune pouch there or something just to make it look kind of nice and cool there. And as you can see, 545,000 pure essence, so 500,000 pure essence. I remember when I first started this account, we had to mine them all by hand, but just from the chambers, I've gained over 200,000 of these, and then Zulrah, other stuff like that. But I'm going for 1 million of these. I think that would look really cool in the bank. Lots of hammers collected from the Chambers of Xeric. Just keep depositing them, forget to just drop them and stuff like that. But this is all the main useful tools. Hammer chisel for the birdhouse runs, knife and spade for fletching and clue scrolls. We finally did get the dragon pickaxe as an upgrade, finally. So we got the dragon pickaxe and the dragon axe now. We have the full graceful outfit here, which I really don't use unless I'm doing questing or training agility, but I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. We've got pestle and mortar, crystal saw, and then kind of just other bits of currencies here. We have a lot of marks of grace. This is coming in at 31 million GP in marks of grace. That was from 99 agility, and we're going to use that to make some more of the stam potions. But 74 million GP in cash. We went down like 26 something million just from the kingdom, which is pretty crazy, and just making runes and stuff like that. But we could easily get 2, 3, maybe even 400 million GP worth of elks, but I just don't have time to elk ever. I'm just busy running chambers and stuff like that, and this will last for another couple of years with no worries there. If we scroll down a little bit more in the bank, this is all of the achievement diary stuff, the tier 4, everything, and use this quite a bit as well. Mostly I would say the Arty cloak, explorer's ring, Rada's blessing all of the time, and other ones come in handy like the Fremenic boots to go over to Fremenic, or desert amulet to head into the desert, stuff like that. Also Karamja gloves, really good to get to Kuradel now, not Duradel because he did die. And then just kind of get into some other random stuff in the little bit of this tab right here. We got the dodgy necklaces for when we do thieving, some more stuff to make them. And then I just have some of the useful sets here at the bottom. I've got the prospector outfit for when I go do some mining, or that's when I was doing a lot of the star mining this year. And then we also have the of the eye outfit for whenever I do rune crafting, and this comes in handy a lot as well. And unicorn horns, I don't think I want to drop these because they're just annoying to get, and I don't really have a spot for them. I guess I could put them in like the Herblore tab or something. And then we've got pretty much one of every clue scroll here, and I just haven't got around to doing them. I definitely need to work on more clue scrolls this year. So this next tab here is my skilling / resources tab, 312 million. This tab has went up quite a bit this year. We've got all the logs, mostly from PVM, not a lot of chopping comes here. And we've got tons of mahogany planks, different types of planks gathered this year too, which I do want to do mahogany homes on this account, finish the collection log for that. So in the future, I guess we've got enough planks to really do that. We could even turn these logs into more planks. We got 100,000 empty light orbs from 99 crafting. We've got over 100,000 maple longs from 99 fletching. 45k feathers. We definitely need to get more feathers, but just haven't gotten around to it. The gems have went up quite a bit this year too. Some of them are almost reaching 10k, like the emeralds and the sapphires and stuff like that, which is nice to see. I have been using a lot of the ruby bolts, ruby gems to make into ruby bolts E, which is, those went down a little bit, but you just get more and more from doing raids over time. 84,000 buckets of sand, all collected from Bird. I think I had like 1,000 when I was done 99 crafting, so that other 83,000 has all just been from Bird every day. And the ores have went up a lot as well. We're almost back up to 100,000 coal, which is very nice to see. And I haven't done any mining. This is all from PVM. So 34k mithril, 13k addy, 2600 runite, which that's almost 30 million GP just in the ore right there. And the bars have been stacking up too, not too much, but yeah, 140,000 gold bars. 10k steel, you know, we'll eventually convert these in all the ores into bars one day if I do some post smithing or whatever. Then we've got the cooking supplies and the raw fish down here. As you can see, quite a bit of the fish. We've cooked 150,000 tuna, which is just insane, and we still have another 61,000 raws to cook up. I'm going for 100,000 swordfish as well. I just want that white stack in the bank, and then we'll probably switch the kingdom over to collect coal, maybe some maple logs or something like that. But for the past like 2 years, I've had it collecting swordfish, which is funny and nice to stack up over time. They give like 140 cooking XP each, so not too bad. And then karambwans. We have a lot of karambwans. Like just in the cooked karambwans, it is 90 million GP, and then the raw ones, we just started kind of fishing them again. Probably gonna go for 200,000 or 300,000 raw ones before we start cooking them again, just because I really do enjoy fishing karambwans. They're so AFK nice for when I'm making and editing videos, so that's kind of what I've been doing in all my spare time. We're at like 80 million cooking, so it's pretty cool. And then the rest of the tab here is just kind of some other skilling supplies. Like we've got the gem bag, we've got the coal bag, tackle box, which has most of the fishing supplies in it, and the fish barrel, one of my favorite items in the game. One day I would really like to get that fish sack or whatever it is, where you can put the fish barrel on your back. I think that's a really cool item, but for now we've just got the fish barrel. Also, we've been collecting some more grapes. I really need to get more of the Zamarok grapes for making the ranging potions, but haven't really been to Tithe Farm in a while either. But also, the grapes are really good cooking XP, so sometime in the near future I'd like to get a bunch of jugs of water, but there's not really a great way of getting them in bulk anyways. You just kind of have to use the humidify spell and make a bunch of them yourself. So kind of been putting that off as well. And we still have almost 400,000 raw karambwanjis that we caught when the Leagues 3 was on. Yeah, so that should last us a very long time, at least for me to get 300,000 or 400,000 more karambwans with. Maybe not that many, but we'll have to see. But these are very easy to catch, so I'm not too worried about that. I was going to go for 1 million, but I was just like, at around 500,000, I was like, yeah, I'm done, which is actually fish some karambwans now. And then we got the fishing outfit here, which I pretty much use every day. The next tab is the farming tab, only about 56 million GP right now. Haven't really touched farming in months. Ever since I started doing raids and chambers, I haven't really done any farm runs or birdhouse runs, which is kind of sad, but at least we're stacking up the seeds for now. We've got a lot of renars, a lot of snapdragons to farm up, and then all the other ones that are either high value, give a lot of farming experience. Then we also have all of the seeds for birdhouse runs. I think you can use any seeds at birdhouse runs now, so maybe I should put these in the whatever that's called, the seed vault. But yeah, for now they're just gonna stay in the bank. We've got 11,000 compost potions for making some ultra compost. I actually do have 2 bottomless compost buckets, which is pretty funny at like 5 kc, so that might piss some people off, but it is what it is. Other than that, we have a little bit of the grape supplies for farming. We started getting a little bit of magic roots for making the antidote potions, but I haven't really been, like I said, been back to farming in a while. And some seed packs that we still haven't opened for when I get back to doing farming contracts. I like to get like 30, 40, 50 of them in the bank before I open them, so that's kind of how it has been. And a decent amount of bird's nest too. Like I said, when I go back to birdhouse runs, we should stack these up a lot more to make Sarah brews in the future. And of course we have like the farming outfit in here as well, but nothing too special in this tab. Now, one of my favorite tabs that I have is the Herblore tab, and I really need to organize the bottom of it a lot more, but the top looks beautiful. As you can see, a lot of people like to replicate this and kind of copy my Herblore tab. So we've got the grimy version, clean, unfinished, secondary, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it kind of lines up perfectly for all of the potions in the game. So as you can see, the herbs have went up a crazy amount this year. If we compare it to my last bank video, we have made a lot of herbs, and we haven't been farming. This has all been from PVM, mostly the Chambers of Xeric, like especially like the irits here. Like we've got like 13,000 irits, which is insane. A lot of post Herblore in the future if we need to, and we've got a decent amount of secondary ingredients. We really kept up with it when we were farming, but collecting the Mortmire fungus is going to be awful. Like, what is that, 7,000 that we need to collect? That is not going to be fun, and that will take hours and hours and hours to do, but we're eventually going to need to do that, which does suck, but it is what it is. Yeah, we got all the potions coming down here into the super combats, even the staminas. We are running very, very low on staminas because I've used like 2,000 plus stamina potions doing raids so far. So yeah, we're gonna have to make a lot more of those, but the bank gets a little bit messy down here with just some random potions that I had to make, like the extended anti-fires and stuff like that, which I really haven't found a home for yet, but eventually, probably by next bank video or next year, I will sort this all out and kind of make it exactly like it is up here, nice and nice to look at anyways, and you just know where everything is. And the thing I really like about this is most of the time you know, take like a bunch of Fordos potions, you have a couple sips of them, and you just throw them in the bank. Some people even drop them on the ground, but you shouldn't do that as an Ironman, right? So now I have everyone in my bank. Like if I have a 2 dose, it goes in the bank, and then I just take it to the Grand Exchange and eventually convert all these back into 4 doses, so I never waste many potions this way. But yeah, it works out pretty well. Yeah, I really like this tab a lot, and it's worth like almost 400 mil. Next tab here is a little boring. This just has some of my favorite skill capes in the game, ones that I like use or like a lot anyways. We got the quest cape, the achievement diary cape. These two are pretty useful. Construction cape, again, very useful. Crafting cape, very useful. Max cape, one of the most useful capes in the game. And then we have the assembler version of the max cape. I really like the hoods. Some people drop them or whatever, but I think the hoods look pretty cool. And then we have the magic hood in here as well. And rune crafting cape is nice because you don't need to charge your pouches or anything like that. But if you're wearing the max cape, it does the same thing. I just think the rune crafting cape looks incredible, so that's why I did keep it in the bank. Now we've got the Slayer Drops tab, the PVM Drops tab. This tab is almost 500 mil, and it just keeps growing and growing. It's not the most organized thing ever, but I kind of like the way that it looks, you know what I mean? So we've got a bunch of the heads at the top here, a bunch of the rare dragon equipment, lots of this, like a bunch of money and alchables here, like that's 7 mil just in the dragon plate legs. Lots of these crystal keys. I was gonna make a video using like 200 of them or 250 of them on the crystal chest, but a lot of people said that I should wait and use them on the crystal chest in the future one day, so I've just really been stacking them up in the bank. We've got 18 dark totems. We probably could honestly get the Skatizo pet with that because we've already got like what, 10 KC or something, 20 maybe. 144,000 flax. I don't know if we'll ever spin that or make it into bowstring. Maybe if they make it easier one day, I don't know. 3 onyxes just chilling, a bunch of different types of bones, dragon bones, 13,000 cannonballs. But see, some of these items right here, like the old boot, like I should just drop this. I don't know why I kept it or why it's even in the bank. So eventually we'll go through this tab and just like take out things that we really don't need or don't really have a purpose. A couple kraken tentacles, 3,700 battle staffs, that's 30 million GP right there, and elks, some dark crabs, some lizardman fangs, and 62 Xerix inserts. Kind of insane. We got a little bit of bolts here. We're running kind of low actually on the dragon bolts because I use them a lot with the chambers, and there's not really a great way of getting them, so kind of a low supply of those. And then we've got a bunch of the hides, 7 hydra leathers, that's another item, 71 million GP right there in hydra leathers. They went up a lot. They used to be like 4 mil, now they're 10 mil each. Don't know why, but they went up a lot. And some bolt tips. We've got some of the rings actually. I'm pretty sure there's a ring that we're missing. Yeah, we don't have an archer's ring. Isn't that crazy? We still don't have an archer's ring on this account. Other than that, some antidotes, some sandfuse serums, Zalra skills. We actually, right now, at the moment, are killing Zalra. We've killed about 69 in the past 2 days. Not too bad. We actually did get a Visage as well, so that's another 20,000 scales to convert. I want to get maybe 150,000 scales before I return to the chamber, so that's kind of the grind that I'm doing right now. We got some blood essence in here. Now, this is another thing. All these rings are from birdhouses, and honestly, don't drop them, keep them. I mean, especially like the sapphire ones, emeralds, they can be really nice because I use the sapphire rings to add charges to my Ring of Suffering, and I've always got like sapphire rings ready and I don't have to make them, so that's kind of convenient. 8 crystal shards. Yeah, eventually we're gonna have to. I think Volcano is really good now to get crystal shards. I don't ever really want to go back to the corrupted gauntlet, so probably Volcano or some other type of method to gain crystal shards. 4,500 snake skins, interesting, from Zalra. And look at all of these alkables, man. Like, it is crazy. This is what I mean by we could easily get 200-300 million GP in cash on the account, no problem, with just all the alkables. Like, it is pretty crazy. I used to, you know, get like 10, 20 and then just elk them, right? But there's just so many of them now that would actually take a very long time to elk all of these. I'll probably do it in the future if I'm like training agility or trying to do something, maybe Slayer even, where you could elk at the same time. But there is a lot here. Like, we don't have to worry about money for a very long time, or cash anyways. Some more bones, you know, coming in the bank here. These scaly blue dragon hides are cool because they give you the dragon dust for making potions. All of the Cerberus drops here. We still don't have ranger boots, but we do have 3 Picasian crystals, which is kind of annoying, but they're very cheap. They're like 150k. And the primordials are what, 31 million each. So we got 3 of those. We have the actual boots, obviously, too. And some more random stuff. A couple jars here. What is this? The jar of chemicals. Then we've got the jar of dirt. We finally did get a dark bow. When am I ever going to use this on an Ironman, right? That's more of like a PvP weapon. I'm sure there is some scenarios where you could use a dark bow, but we did get one. 377,000 ancient essence, which isn't really that much. I did get fairly lucky with the Phantom Muzzpa personally, but that was a fun boss to camp, and you did make a decent amount of money there. And at the very end of the bank here, you know, we got our 111 rune pickaxes because we don't use it anymore because we got the dragon. So those, like, that's a lot of money in alkables too right there. That's 2 million GP in alkables. 9 ancient icons, 17 Ascurious spines, 19 torn prayer scrolls, 6 dexterous, 3 arcanes. These are just extra, and these dexterous prayer scrolls, like, that's 100 mil right there, which is just crazy. Some people are like, you want to drop them to your main account? No, I want to just keep everything that I get from the Ironman on the account. You know, it just makes the bank look a lot cooler at the end of the day, and it shows you that, you know, you make a lot of money during these places until you actually, you know, get a twisted bow or something. You're gonna make billions of GP before you do so. So tab 6 is kind of like just bolts and gear that I don't use too often, and I don't really have a place for it in my main gear tab. So we got the Helm of Nezi, the Nezi face guard, a bunch of bolts, mithril, adamant, rune, you know, ruby bolts, diamond bolts, 51,000 mithril arrows, 70,000 rune arrows, and we're starting to slowly stack up on the dragon arrows for if we ever get the twisted bow. I'm hoping to have like 20,000 or something like that by then so that we have enough for bossing. That's only a plus 60 range strength. That's really weird. I guess the bow provides a lot, but if you compare it to bolts, it's kind of funny. Some extra darts, 25,000 amethyst darts for the blowpipes. We shouldn't run we shouldn't run out of those anytime soon. Some broad arrows, you know what I mean? And then just other stuff like Iban staff, rune gloves for if I ever go into the wilderness, you know, the crystal shield, the elemental shield, some regen champas, and then we got a lot of the Barrows gear down here. Some of it I use, like, I would say I use like the Verax skirt, I use Carol's top a lot. Sometimes I use Darox for like Nightmare Zone or whatever. And then we've got the insulated boots in here too for rune dragons. And then we've got our cannon, which I only use really for some Slayer tasks in the game. Fishing explosives for the Kraken. And this is kind of like where I make bolts. So ruby bolts here, and then, you know, the dragon ruby bolts E for when we do the Chambers of Zarek. Now for probably my favorite tab in the bank, this is the gear tab. So this is like the tab that I'm always working on upgrading more and more, and it's almost valued at 1 billion GP, 975 mil. So this has been like a lot of work to get this tab up. And it starts off with the red Slayer helm, then we got Barrow's gloves, Ferocious, the fire cape, we got dragon boots, primordial boots, we have all of the Zenite jewelry, and the Fury, because the Fury is a great hybrid amulet that I still use quite a bit to this day. We've got the elite void, which I actually use a lot at chambers. I didn't think I'd ever have like a good use for it, maybe besides like Vorkath or the chambers. Some range gear, not the best. Range is something I really do need to upgrade. I was talking about that I think this year I will try and get the Armadillo armor, so that might be interesting. Black D'hide for if we go into the wilderness. We don't have any legs because we did keep dying. Then we got RMs with Eternal Boots, the Mage's Book, and all of the Mage Capes, and this is like the one that I converted the Max Cape into. And then we have Mystics here for if we go in the wilderness, we need some mage gear. Hardly ever though. We got our Divine Rune pouch. Down here as well, we've got like Proselyte armor for some Slayer tasks. Can come in handy, you know, we got the blowpipe, stuff like that. Rune crossbows. Fighter torso, which I don't use anymore because we've got bandos. We got the Dragon Defender, you know, all the rings and stuff like that. We got the Brimstone ring. Abyssal Whip, the Tentacle Whip. Don't use these at all anymore either. And then we come down to the bank. We do have an Abyssal Dagger, the Tanzanite Helm, some Occult Necklaces, the Ring of Wealth, and, you know, just some other Slayer stuff like the Arclight and the Slayer Staff, the Rock Hammer, and the Salve Amulet. And this is kind of when I finished maxing. This is kind of where it started, where I wanted to collect some of my like dream gear items. We started with the Dragon Warhammer. This is kind of mostly in order of how I got them. Dragon Warhammer, then we went to Bandos, got the Chestplate and Tassets and the God Sword. And then we went to Corrupted Gauntlet, got the Bofa, the Blade of Salador, Crystal Armor, which I don't use anymore because we don't have charges for it, but I do use the Bofa pretty much every day. It's very good even without the Crystal Armor. Dragon Hunter Lance, Missouri Body, the Eldest Ward, and then we got the Karis Partisan of the Sun, Lightbearer, which I didn't have much of a use for until Chambers because the Lightbearer is so good if you want to use a spec weapon a lot. So I use the Lightbearer with the Dragon Warhammer so I can constantly keep Dragon Warhammer speccing the melee hand. Then we've got the Osmond's Fang, a couple of the Sarachnish Cudgels, Abyssal Bludgeon, finally finished that off. Never have to go to that boss again unless I want the pet, but I don't want the pet that much. And then we got the Ancient Scepter, the Warp Scepter. This actually took like 2,000 kills to get it. I think it was like a 1 in 300, so I went very, very dry on that, but I wanted it for a video. That's it. And then we got the Venator Bow, which is such an amazing weapon. So good for Slayer tasks, and I think it's like valued pretty high now. When I first got it, it was like 30 mil. And it's 80 million GP now. So yeah, this was very underrated. It is very, very good for Slayer tasks. Highly would recommend you get it if you used range for a lot of your tasks. And it can kind of make some tasks a bit more AFK because you just tag so many of the creatures at once. Pop your prayer on, you're good to go. And then we've got all of the Scurrius the Rat King drops right here. So we got the Mace, the Short Bow, and the Bone Staff. These are fun weapons to use there. Probably the Mace would be my favorite. And then these are some of the drops from the chambers. So we got the Twisted Buckler, we got the Din's Bulwark, and then we got the Dragon Hunter crossbow very recently. So yeah, this tab valued at 1 billion GP. So the last tab of the bank here is just some quest items, stuff that I really don't want to get rid of, don't have a place for. I'm sure there is a lot of stuff in here, like a bunch of these nails or whatever that I could drop, but nothing too crazy in here. We got the Ironman gear, we got a bunch of the Grigris, which I believe you can just buy them now, so I don't really need to keep them in the bank. The classic lit black candle I still have, we'll probably never get rid of that item. A bunch of the different necklaces, the Camelot, Ghost Speak, the Monkey Speak, and the Cat Speak. And then we've got all the different, Salve Amulet E's, Holy Symbols, the Barrel Chest Anchor. Never use this, but it's such a classic item. Same with the Bear Head, same with the Bone Sack. Then we got the Gnome Scarf, Fire Gear whenever we go there. The Prince Monkey backpack, that took a very long time to get, so I just keep it in the bank. We have all the holiday event items every single year that they do like a Christmas event or something, or whatever, Halloween. I try my best to complete the event and just stack those up over time. You know, cooking gauntlets, goldsmith, don't use them very often anymore. All of the different fire lighters from clue scrolls, different chompy bows, purple sweets, the Brian Saber, rune throwing axes are good for DKs. Like, this is what I mean, like the law tier, the rat tier, don't really need it anymore because we have 99 rune crafting, right? Then we got the red topaz machete for like some of the achievement diary type thing. We made a bunch of Tarmentar one time, unpowered orbs, just a bunch of junk really here at the bottom. So nothing really of too much value or anything like that. These are just a bunch of pages from clue scrolls. Got the Zalra teleports in here for some reason. Black pickaxe, just some like weird items that I really don't want to just drop on the floor, but I don't really have much of a spot for. And we got like the house keys, a bunch of the new Varlamore stuff is down here. The other bottomless compost bucket that I was talking about. Yeah, just a bunch of junk really here at the bottom. Sapphire lantern's good for getting to tormented demons. Dark journal from the chambers, just, you know, random bits of junk in here. But yeah, the bank has won up about 600 million GP since my last bank video, and all I basically have been doing is a little bit of Slayer and PVM, and Chambers of Xeric has been the real hitter. It's said that I've only made about 300 mil from the Chambers, so I don't know where the other 300 mil came from. I guess just having items over time and them going up in value quite a bit, but I do really like where the bank is sitting at right now. If we get like a twisted bow, it'll jump up to what, like almost 4 bill, 5 bill, something like that. So that's kind of like the goal that I really want to do, is to get a twisted bow, and I think that would just make the bank quite a bit better. But yeah, this has been the bank video for halfway through 2024. We'll probably make another one, I would say December, January, at the very start of next year. So yeah, we'll see how much it jumps up from now till then. Also, let's take a quick look at the stats. So right now we're sitting at 501 million experience, and we'll just go hover over them a little bit quickly so you guys can see. And ranges went up quite a bit, 44 mil right there. Magic 24 mil. Rune crafting as well is pretty high. Slayer haven't really touched, unfortunately. Herblore always goes up a little bit. Making potions, 39 mil HP. 24 mil fishing, almost 80 million cooking. Yeah, so that's kind of where the account is sitting at right now. Take a quick look at some of the collection logs as well. We got the Sire here, Hydra, Cerberus, some of the other ones that I've done a decent amount of. We've got the Gauntlet, which is green logged, very, very nice. General Gardor, Giant Mole. Is there anyone else? Scarius. Anyone else that I've done quite a decent amount of? Forecath, not too much. Winter Todd. Oh yeah, look at that. Zalcano. We got the pet at 100, like less than 100 KC actually. Zalra we're working on right now. We'll go to the raids because that's kind of more important. So as of right now, 315 chambers completed. No mega rares, but we have been pretty lucky on the purples. Theater Blood, we haven't really started yet, and the Tombs of Masket, we've got what, like 200 KC. Well, yeah, that's been the bank video and kind of like where the account is at right now. So anyways, really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below what your bank value is worth, and if you do like the bank itself and maybe what I could improve on, maybe different layouts of the bank and how I could maybe organize it more, would be very helpful. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.